sex. And it's weird, yo, because it's like, I don't know, like, I think when you're having sex in a relationship, like early, everything gets sped up. What's up, everyone? Today is Wednesday, February 5th, maybe. So, making my vlog. It's Wednesday night. I want to talk to everyone out there about what's happening in my world. I'm here at the City Fam offices. I guess it's about 7 o'clock, and I'll stay for a little bit longer. What's up, Shane Kelly? How's it going? Jamie Cornelius, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, so I want to share about a lot of the good stuff that's going on, but I always never want to disregard or ignore the hard stuff that's happening too, because I'm trying to document the journey, as I talk a lot about, and I want to remember all this. I want to remember the hard stuff, the good stuff, the ups and downs, everything in between, because I know that there's other people out there that are struggling. Maybe they're chasing a dream, or they're just struggling with something else that's similar or they can relate to. So yeah, I mean, in a lot of ways, there's so much good stuff happening, but in still a lot of ways, I feel like I'm limping to the finish line. Like, I don't know, it's just, it's hard for me to push the way that I used to. Not to say I'm not working long hours, because I'm still putting in, probably 12 to 15 hour days most days, but I don't know, like I used to really care a lot. Like I was at everything. Like I missed church last Sunday. I don't ever miss church. I haven't missed church in years, unless I was out of town. So I just wanted to like relax. I wanted to chill, and I didn't go. So I don't know, like I feel like in some ways I'm kind of limping to the finish line. I'm still moving, but the funny thing is like God has surrounded me with this amazing group of people, and things are happening more than they were happening before. Even when I cared and I tried so hard, like we're making more progress now than we ever have. And I don't know, maybe that was his plan. I sometimes feel like that's what God does, is he lets you work to the point where you just realize that you can't do it, and then he sends what you need. So yeah, that's kind of where I've been at mentally. Not to say I'm negative or in a negative headspace, although it does happen. The depression will hit me sometimes, and I'll either go home and take a nap, or sometimes I just marinate in it, to be honest. Like there's nothing I can do to escape it. I don't know if anyone's ever suffered with depression, but it's just like it'll hit you, and you can't get away from it. There's nothing to do. There's no way to escape. You just kind of have to sit there and marinate in it, and then it passes, and then you feel good again, and you can go hard for a while after that. But that and I don't know, it's just like what we're doing, there's no model for. No one's ever built anything like the City Fam that I know of. I mean, I've never seen any of it. What's up, Jess Bosa? And on top of that, like so we're building something that there's no model for, trying to explain it to people so that they understand what it is. Me personally battling my own demons from my past, whether it be women, alcohol, drugs, like those temptations hit you, because I used to mask problems or mask pain with those things. I self-medicated. Some of the reasons why I did that. So when the pain hits you, the depression or whatever it is, you just gotta suck it up, because like there's no going back. And getting through that while maintaining the emotional stability to continue to work 12 or 15 hours a day, so that you can because really the only way out is through. You have to work your way out of it. That's it. Like that's why I work so hard, because I have a very clear vision of where I want to go and what I want to do and what I'm trying to build, this world that I'm trying to create that doesn't exist. Because I know that when I get there, I'm going to be like, wow, this is awesome. This is where I want to live. You know what I mean? And the only way to get there is to work my ass off. And but yeah, it's a delicate balance. I said something last week in a video where I talked about City Fam and its value for people that were trying to live a certain way. And I really feel like I want to clarify that a bit more. I really believe that City Fam's value does come in for people that are trying to make changes, that are legit trying to make positive changes, or they made changes and are trying to maintain those changes and not go back. We've created this environment, this culture that pushes, it goes right up to the edge, but it stops there. You know what I mean? It doesn't cross the line, but it goes right up to the line. But it creates this safe place because you're with other people. Because honestly, going up to the line wouldn't be a good strategy for maintaining positive changes or making positive changes. But when you're with a group of like-minded people that can kind of hold each other accountable, then it actually is, to me, is a better long-term strategy, because it allows me freedom, have a lifestyle that's more manageable and maintainable long-term. But it also creates an opportunity for people that are maybe looking for something different. They see it packaged and presented in a way that maybe they've never seen it before. So rather than saying, oh, if you want to, get sober, you have to go way over there and don't even think of coming over here. You know what I mean? Like, some people just can't get down with that, right? Or some people, for me, the first 6 years when I gave my heart to the Lord, I avoided everything. I avoided bars and clubs. I mean, I would, every few months or so, I guess, I would get so pent up with energy. I would go out because I just needed to be around people, and I would, smoke a couple cigarettes, or, maybe a girl would hit on me, and then I would get scared because I was like, didn't want to backslide, and I would stay in for another 3 or 4 months, and I would just repeat it a few times. But it wasn't a great long-term strategy, because after a while I got tired of white knuckling it, and my strength wore out, and then that's when I inadvertently went back, and that's what I see happen for people in and out of addiction, lukewarm Christians, in and out of dead-end relationships, all kinds of things, because when you don't have healthy community, when you don't have things to do, good things to do, and good people to do it with, you'll connect to something else. You'll connect with other things. And I don't know. So, but the people that are really trying to, make that change, City Fam has tremendous value for those people. But when people are like wishy-washy, lukewarm, and they're like, they're drinking, they're really not trying to necessarily maintain, and not to say there's anything wrong with drinking. A lot of people in City Fam drink, so I need to check that and make sure everybody's clear on that. But when I say live a certain way, I mean, personally, I'm a fundamentalist. I believe in clear black and white, right and wrong stuff. I'm very liberal for a fundamentalist, which is kind of interesting, I think. But, there's just certain things that you can't get around, that are just wrong, But at the same time, I am liberal on certain things where, I like to hang out in bars. People, I cuss. To me, it's a non-issue. There's certain things that I feel like I'm fairly liberal on, but there are certain things that I'm very much a fundamentalist. I actually like to say I put the fun in fundamentalist. But when people aren't as committed to doing the right thing, the world is easy. It's easy to live like that. It's hard at times later because you create problems for yourself. But when you're really trying to walk that narrow path, that is hard. It's really, really hard. And you need good people around you, or you'll just wall out. You'll go back. You'll fall to some demon. You'll whether it be whatever it is, whatever the thing is, a substance, lust, whatever your thing is, you'll go back to something without community. Even with community, it's so hard. I mean, I'm struggling with it now. I have great friendships, and it's still a difficult line to walk. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm sorry. But I feel like I needed to kind of elaborate on that a little bit more. So this Sunday, Path to Purpose is coming up. I want to talk a little bit about it. It's 1 to 4 here at the City Fam offices. I actually talked to the Van Brooks, the guest speaker that we're going to have. He is the Director of Service and Volunteerism for the state of Maryland. And great story, really inspirational. He was raised in West Baltimore. He was paralyzed in high school playing football, told he would never walk again, ended up starting a nonprofit, learned to walk again, and is now the Director of Service and Volunteerism for Governor Hogan. So great story. He's going to be here speaking, and we're really kind of revamping Path to Purpose. And it's not going to be, it's just a different format now, and it's going to be more about, equipping our leaders and our members with the tools that they need to live their best lives. That's what we're trying to do there. Before, it was more just an onboarding ramp for people that were wanting to join committees. So we're really going to use this as a way to shift the culture, really, because we want people to be enthusiastic about volunteering and about City Fam and everything that's happening, because it is exciting. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff happening. We're having people fly in from all over the world, from London, from Germany, from California and Texas. There are people wanting to start their own City Fams. And to me, it's a dream come true. I have a vision for what I want to do here in Baltimore and how the impact that I want to make, and that we could build M&T Bank Stadium one day for an after party, volunteer after party. So imagine having 75,000 people volunteering in Baltimore City on the same day, and what that would do not only for our city, but what would it do for the people that were volunteering, and how they would feel about themselves, and the genuine connections that they would make through that. And then I thought, if we can do it here in Baltimore, if we can fill M&T Stadium here in Baltimore, we can do it in other cities. So I know it's a huge dream, but that's what we're working for, and we do believe it's possible. So we really want Path to Purpose to be up in that direction, where it just gets people excited and enthusiastic about volunteering and everything that's happening here at City Fam. So I say all that to say, if you have volunteered any time with us in the last 12 months, sign up for Path to Purpose. It's free. You get a free seat. The guy's story is incredible, and it's going to be a great day. We're going to have free refreshments, and it'll be awesome. So 1 to 4 this Sunday, you go to cityfam.com, or you can go to P2P, the number 2, P219.eventbrite.com. I'll put the link here in the comments after I end the video. Tony Gaskins, yes, he is an awesome guy. I don't know a lot about him. I think I follow him on Instagram and I see some of his quotes, but I haven't seen much of his stuff. So what else is going on? Some, other stuff that's happening. We made a $1,000 payment on the app today. I'm excited about that. We paid $6,000 of the $7,500 for the app. When that comes out, it's going to change things for us because it's going to allow our members now to create their own events and connect with other members. So the idea will be diversity, really. So if you're a single parent, let's say, and you want to do something kid-friendly, you can create an event and other City Fam members can find it. The difference for us is going to be our events are purposeful. So unlike a meetup or organization or platform, our events are meant to introduce people to community. So we don't just socialize to socialize. We don't just volunteer just to fix an outward problem. We do those things to build relationships with other people. So I don't know, just imagine, like, let's say you are a single parent, you want to do something. Now you know another single mom, and maybe she's going through something, or a single dad, and he's going through something, or, whatever it is. They just need some help in some kind of way. They need community, they need friends, because sometimes that's all it is just a little bit of love will help somebody snap out of something. We've seen numerous people's lives change just because they got invited to a social event. And next thing you know, they make some good friends, and then boom, the whole life changes. I mean, it's a process, but it happens. So that's what we want to allow the app will do for people, and we are excited about it. It'll be live on the App Store in the next couple weeks, and we're going to figure out how to get the word out about that. So be on the lookout. It's also going to allow us to partner with other healthy communities. So whatever, and I always define healthy community as anyone that inspires you to be a better version of yourself. That to me is healthy community. So we want City Fam to partner with other healthy communities, because we don't even really necessarily think of ourselves as the hospital, let's say. You know what I mean? Like, I view City Fam more as an ambulance. You know what I mean? Like, we are good at getting people that need help to the places that they can find the help that they need, right? They might not even know that they need, and rather than waiting for someone to hit rock bottom, we find them and we fish where the fish are, is what I say, whether it's social events or volunteer events, and then introduce them to healthy community before they hit rock bottom from not having it. So it really, like, City Fam is the bridge. And I just keep explaining it because, I get a lot of questions about it. People are like, well, what is it? And it's a hard thing to describe. It's, like I said, it's more of a feeling, but I think the app is really going to allow us to do that more with these other healthy communities, allow them to partner with us and create this bridge for those places, to those places. So meeting with the mayor, we're waiting to hear back the day. We sent the agenda to them. Excited about that. We are hoping that we can form some type of partnership with them to help fix some of the problems in the city. And I'm trying to get a meeting with the governor, actually. I know he's real passionate about some of the problems that, the city and the state's facing, specifically the opioid epidemic, which I do think that have a pretty good understanding of, and why people are stuck in that rut where even when they get clean, they go back, and, it's a vicious cycle, because when people, they get well and then they get out of, let's say, maybe they get out of a halfway house, or they go back to the neighborhoods that they used to use drugs in, and they hang around the same people that they used to use with. And it's like, it's really difficult to make changes like that. So anyway, we're trying to get a meeting with him. We'll see what happens. And making some progress on home, actually. It's first time in a while that there's been some movement. I sent the business plan to a friend of mine last week, and I'm hoping to get that finalized. What I'm actually wanting to do is I want to hire someone to work with me part-time on home, and we have a board meeting this Thursday, so I'm going to bring it up to the board and see if I can get them to approve a part-time employee to help me bring that to completion, which I don't think it would take that much work, but maybe a month or two. So anyway, I don't really have anything more to say about it, but it is I'm dedicating one day every week to home specifically, And I believe that we'll be open. If I had to guess, I would say sometime in the summer, but we'll see. What else? Appointed an ambassador lead at CityFam. You know, I'm excited about that. That is going to be, I don't know if I've talked about that in previous videos, but that really is going to be someone that kind of manages the overseeing of us walking people up the ladder, you know, helping them become better versions of themselves, but making it more scalable, more systematic. Right now, it's just been very organic, but we want, in order to scale, it needs to be something that we can measure. So excited about having an ambassador lead. I've been creating a lot of content, like I'm doing right now with this live video, but just more flyers, more videos, pushing out a lot of content, because that's how people are finding us. You know, like for the first couple of years, I barely created content. I barely posted anything. I never wanted to, you know, get on a microphone. I would tell Billy, you make this announcement or that announcement. Even when I used to promote back in the Jet Set days, you couldn't catch me on a mic. I just didn't have a desire to do it. But now I'm seeing the fruit of it. I'm seeing the positive benefits. So I'm creating more content than ever. And people are finding us, and it's good, you know. So we're gonna keep that strategy up, and I think that that's gonna be something that's gonna work for us for a long time. So Dina, the girl I'm dating, flies in Saturday morning, birthday weekend. So I'm excited to see her. This will be the third weekend that we spent together, or the third weekend. So it's good, you know, just navigating this whole dating while waiting thing, long distance relationship. I've never really done either of them. Just so you know, she does not stay with me. I've had people ask me if she stays at my place, and I'm like, no. She doesn't. She stays at a friend of mine's house who has a spare room. But yeah, I'm trying to practice what I preach, and I know that I'm a human. I'm a man, and I do not trust myself. You know, I wouldn't put myself in that situation because I know I'm still weak in that area. So I have to maintain good boundaries. And it's weird, yo, because it's like, I don't know, like, I think when you're having sex in a relationship, like early, everything gets sped up. You know what I mean? Everything is accelerated. Like, we're not at the point where I've said I love you to her, nor her to me. And I'm like, if we were having sex, I'm sure I would have said it by now. You know what I mean? Like, I just would have, you know? And it's different, man, when you're not. And on top of that, on top of not having sex, you have a long distance relationship where you don't even get to see the person frequently. And it's like, wow, you're trying to figure, you know, it's different. It's a whole different animal. And I do know, you know, that God told me her 19 years ago. And that's what I'm banking on. That's why I'm moving forward in a relationship. And I do really like her, and we get along, and she's attractive, and we have some chemistry, but it's a whole different animal. And I don't know if anybody out there can relate, but this is the first time I've actually done it. You know, this is the first time I've actually dated and waited, and it's different. So I don't know, we'll see. I'm hoping that these feelings continue to grow, and man, I want to get married. You know, to be honest, if I'm just keeping it real, like I want to get married like this year, probably. If in a perfect world, I would want to get married this year, because I'm 46 years old, and this has been a long chapter in my life, and I want to have sex again. But I say that, I'm hesitant to say that because I don't want anybody to get it twisted. Like, I don't want to get married just because I want to have sex again. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been abstinent for 12 of the last 19 years, or 13 of the last 19 years. So it's not just that, but that is a nice cherry on the sundae, let's say. Anyway, so we'll see. No news on any of that for now. So what else is coming up? We have a ski trip on the 16th, Saturday, February 16th. We're going to Round Top. Should be fun. I think it's our 4th annual ski trip. And then we are volunteering at the Tool Bank the following Saturday, which I think is the 23rd. I'll be actually out of town for the Tool Bank. I'll be in Israel. I'm taking a trip to Israel on Sunday the 17th. We leave out. I'll be gone for like 10 or 11 days, which I'm super pumped about. It's totally a bucket list trip for me. Going with Epic Church, and I think that's going to be something that we do annually. So if you missed this year and you want to go next year, let me know, and I'll keep you posted, or hit me up around the end of this year. So we are lining up details for our Nicaragua trip, which got canceled last December. That's the international relief trip that CityFam does every year. Our plan is to go back to Nicaragua, or go to Nicaragua. I've been to Nicaragua a couple times, but we have never actually done a relief trip. We were just kind of scouting out the time that I was there. The 2 times I was there, actually. But we want to go there. We want to take a team there to a place called Cristo Rey, which is a very poor area in Nicaragua, where, it's a garbage dump where people live and survive off of. So, we were going to build a medical center there last year. So the idea is to go back there and to do that this year. And we have a different idea of how we want to do our relief trips. We want to really go there and we want to get the people involved in fixing their problems, and then pay for them to go, not pay for them, but we have some little books where they'll be able to go through an 8-week course to start to figure out, some kind of purpose for themselves, like a vision, maybe some kind of small business to start or something. And then at the end of the 8 weeks, they will qualify to get a microloan, right? So a microloan is a very small loan, anywhere from like $50 to $200 to start a business. So when we were there before, we met some people that got microloans, and they started little jewelry business, little furniture business, whatever it was, and they were able to climb out of poverty because of this microloan. So our vision is like, rather than go to this place and just drip on the problem and then leave and come back a year later, which is what most people do, which is what 99% of them do, organizations, we want to go there. We want to get the people involved, get them to actually come help us build the medical center. Because the one thing they have there is time. Because a lot of them aren't, there's no work, right? Outside of scrounging or, for food or for in the dump, they're trying to find whatever they can to survive or recycle. But they do have time. And what we would do is invite them to help us build the medical center, while we're there. Even if they come for one day, they would qualify for this class that they go through. During the class, it's all about what on earth am I here for? It's a curriculum by Rick Warren. I actually have done it a few times. And they build healthy community during those 8 weeks. They go through the curriculum. They start to ask themselves some hard questions like, well, what is my purpose? And maybe they come up with an idea during that 8 weeks. They form a support system, a healthy group of friends, and then they get a microloan now to start their little business if they complete the 8 weeks. So that to me is something that we came up with last year when we went to Nicaragua, which is like, how can we really help these people long term? Because I don't think just going there and building them a house or even just building them a medical center, as much as that's needed, is the greatest help we can give them. The greatest help we can give them is to help them find hope, find a purpose for their life. So yes, we want to build a medical center, but we want them to help us build it. And when they do, they'll qualify for this class. Of course, we'll go back to the States, but they'll go through the 8 weeks and then they get a microloan. And then the next year we come and we see what little businesses they started. Some of them will make it, some of them won't, but that's how we reverse this cycle, we believe. So that's what we really want to do in Nicaragua. And I want to build a dream, and I've talked about it before, is to build a mission house. So a place where teams can stay when they're there doing this work, because there really is, there's nothing by Cristo Rey. The closest place was about 45 minutes that was safe to stay. So our idea is to build a mission house where, we can host teams from different City Fam chapters as they start to sprout up in different parts of the country and different parts of the world. Imagine, every chapter does an international relief trip, and they go there and they spend a week in Nicaragua, and that to us is the dream. And of course, we'll have sell coffee, Nicaraguan coffee at home, use the money from the sales of the coffee to support our work in Nicaragua. So it's a dream. It's a big dream, as you can see. There's a lot going on, but you know what? You gotta have a dream. It's the one thing that gets me out of bed and gets me working, and it is happening. And it just takes longer. I did a talk at the Stop Dreaming, Start Creating retreat, and it was all about vision. And it was, whatever your dream is, however big it is, just the bigger it is, the longer it's going to take. You know what I mean? Like, you might have a dream to do something and it could happen fast, but the bigger it is, the longer it's going to take. But the one thing is, and everything I've read up about people with vision, is like, when it's for you, when you have a vision like that's from God, I believe, even when it doesn't, in the natural, things aren't happening like the way that you would want, or to support the level of effort that you're giving, it's just something won't let you quit. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it's been with me with City Fam, where I'm just like, driving a 97 Tercel, broke as a joke, like just working 15 hours dealing with people problems and like all the things, but I don't look at it with these eyes. I see them with a different set of eyes completely, and you have to, but I believe that's how if the vision is from you or if it's from something outside of you, something greater than you. And, you know, that's what's kept me going, is just knowing that this is where I'm supposed to be, and holding on to like the promises. Honestly, there's like promises in the Bible that talk about, you know, not becoming weary, you know, and well doing, because at the proper time you'll reap if you don't give up. So it's like, it's not for me to determine when that proper time is, but I do believe that at some point there's breakthrough, and it's starting to really happen now, where you're seeing some really incredible things starting to happen. And I believe that home is going to happen this year, and that's going to be a big piece of the puzzle. So anyway, I'm sorry, this has been a long video. I've talked a lot. Wanted to mention contributing memberships. So we're doing more events. Amanda Hartman, shout out to her. She is crushing it. Lining up. We did a Super Bowl party last Sunday at Sapano's, and it was really good. You know, it's specials anyway. But all of our contributing members were able to come for free. Of course, they're able to come to our Renegades. We have a bowling event at Dave & Buster's next month. Contributing members are able to come for free to that as well. But we're really adding more value to our contributing members now. So I just want to do a plug for it. If you want to support what we're doing, you want to support CityFam, you can go to cityfam.com/membership, I believe. I just want to confirm that. And you can sign up for anywhere from $10 to $40 a month, and you get extra perks. Yep, cityfam.com/membership, and you can, you know, you can come to certain events for free. You want to bowl at Dave & Buster's, you want to, whatever, come to certain events. There's other things. The perks are all on the website, but yeah, you can do that. So, but we're adding more, we're definitely giving more value to our contributing members. Now I'm rambling, so I'm going to stop. All right, that's it, guys. I'm sorry.